Frontline with Kwaku Annan, only on CTV. Frontline with Kwaku Annan, only on CTV. The Frontline with Kwaku Annan, only on CTV. Only on CTV.
A London-based research and a data firm, Fitch Solutions, has predicted a win for the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, John Dramani Mahama, in December 2024 general elections. According to Fitch Solutions, 54% of respondents surveyed believed John Dramani Mahama would emerge victorious in the 2024 presidential elections. Fitch Solutions, however, stated their latest poll is consistent with their forecast since 2023. Tonight, the Frontline show give yet another sharp focus. Who makes it to the Jubilee House? Part 2. All these plus more coming up on your weekend Frontline. I am Kwaku Annan. Of course, this is the Frontline. We're live tonight from this very studio here in Accra, across dozens of stations speaking the feed, including our stations in Sunyani 81 FM, our station in Western Region Tadi 99.1 FM. We're live in London on GOB Radio and TV. Of course, pick it on TuneIn and modernghana.com. Still on GOB, you can get it on www.gobtv.tv plus Apple Music. And of course, we're also live on Information Superhighway, YouTube, Facebook, and the link is my CTVGH. My CTVGH, that's the link. YouTube, Facebook, the link is my CTVGH. And of course, you get everything, all the program and everything that is going on tonight, plus the interactive segments on the WhatsApp line 020-297-3465, 020-297-3461. All these and more tonight on your weekend Frontline. Of course, thank God it's Friday, TGIF. And of course, we're going to give you some very, very comprehensive with my guest who may join me shortly, not too far from now. Folks, let's get started. And I agree, you know, about being strong. So we are part of it. So we are connecting tonight all the way from the northern belt. We are connecting from the northern belt, upper east, upper west, and then to northern region. We are coming to Ashanti region, capital Kumasi. We are connecting Greater Accra. We are connecting Volta region. We are connecting Central region, and of course the 6 regional capitals, both northeast, west, and of course Western region and beyond. Folks, call a friend, call a brother, call a sister, call a mother, everybody together. Let's all sit, glued to our set, and then we discuss the issue very comprehensively and make a sense of it all. Folks, and I dream themselves when you're power. And come out, ye part 2. Why any wo to America akọ Jubilee House come December? On Wednesday, nkoma ye ni mudi no. Na poster ben global info analytics for post a omede buy no kire say the month of July ye woman see to about July ya. Na kire say John Mahama, former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, lead sa elections we were I think about 52 or so, and I just said Odibe lead. That was the discussion Wednesday no yenamo have it. Adia chinye yawada. Another poster and so APA, a London-based research data firm, I from Fitch Solutions. Fitch Solution for also Eddie Abeto was 2024 about one. The leading opposition party, the National Democratic Congress flag bearer, former President His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, would go home or he walk down the aisle into glory with 54%. The die is cast. Saying NRD ebetime materialize it into reality between now and December 7, which is barely 5 more months to go to the polls. Folks, aye ni bresem. We na ninkenfuano. The developing angles to all of this are APA. The latest Afro barometer in APA 77% of Ghanaians any nye dia enyoma ekeka 77%. Enu na chine the same Afro and so ebie so say woni Ghana for edu ekasa according to our polls no woni Ghana for edu meaning say 10 people woni omo kasa out of the 10 no 9 and kuno esusu say ehuni say wo mo dwen say wo mo feel say eyo omo say oman e go wrong direction. Folks, enya sam keto enti break the 8 na modern nam ho a modi tuetue ni pass no dachi saman hwe ni e beba be just a mantra and a cliche be in your bedrooms. And then media news na news reporter no ogina agbobloshi and omubisa ne say onhwe say foodstuffs ni nyoma etesen yam okoe no omukobi okobisa onions anyo baako betima say 10 cedis. Folks, we are some papa commodity prices foodstuffs are jumping high, skyrocketing. We there me na me did that say me be ya ekwem baby me tade o me koto bayre makoto a tuber of yam maako saying 4 me turn 1.8 Ghana cedis. Abra 4 yi kaneno me turn 50 Ghana kra na say o mesisi me 300 Ghana cedis. 4 enkumenkume bi o 4 1.8 na me di egu me kem me di kodi kugu ho na me di ni nkakra kwata me di ma de nkakra na ma dwen me ho 1.8. Can you imagine? O ma be na mudi ehe na mudi ma na ikoi na obi say enti mu a mo te ho dede nim na mo kan economy den ni fa hene sra mo yirenum kodwom anadwi ni bre we Friday, thank God it's Friday. Be bubon papa ne asore so akọ. Up next, Ghana Speaks proudly brought to you by Ora Black Staff for there. Asema mo ka kire an say en niagro. Ente weekend so ochine say bomoden na febe dan wom. Ochine say na wafre wom. Se wo pese wo kohwe wo nsa asene bi. Na Ora Black Staff we chiri kwan we he wo fanko ha ya barrier udru ewo ho na weekend say no ono omonko enkonko di nkomo no omfa wonko asase no asase nsu na ewo krom Ora Black Staff for fanko barrier ho ufiri wa na okopoku ase na fanko ho a big omo ho kama no omonko di nkomo wo mbeje so frɛ wom ochina na patutu na hwɛ sɛ nkomo no bɛkɔ sɛn wo 053 617 6327 Ora Black Star number mo fengu screen so 053 617 6327 bomodiana no nkonko di nkomo tem asase ne bebree kama so enne nsase no a wo nsa aban no tonwa no mo ton nsase ni na nti obekọ no nsase ne ekodi nipa bi nsem na mo di land guard for mo ase land guard for yetwemu nso bekọ na land guard for guso nsikan nkotokuro nsrada nkontima etuo na eye adwuma wo sansase so udi agro meku ato akene besrawo Ora Black Star for na yo mo de ne kama say asem bia ni ho bomoden ko na kokope bi wate nsase wo krom kwa benya kaswa breku denchira amasaman ensawum botiano ni na wo krom kwaje asase de na fesi wa wodan asase nso ye kan ensuo wo so deda ebiom electricity poles wo masisi ni na na ekwan de dansa asiri mu ti wo dia na se wo kosi wodan se wo pese wo si hotel wo ho se wo pese wo si Airbnb o se wo pese wo si wa wodan o se Tower of Babel ma asase no to no pese ye nkrata mo a ora black star for na so betimi aye de ama ma hoto aba hwa asase ne hwa se de esitie esoyie ohoso kama na wasum ebedwo ntokwasem bia embem. Take a listen to this.
Black Star Limited. Our lands are everywhere. It depends on the customer's preferred location. We have lands in areas such as Kwabinya, Amasaman, Kaswa, Benchira, Bruku, Botsiano, and lands are very affordable and has no litigation issues. Our lands comes in various sizes such as 70 by 100, 35 by 100, and among others. We have a flexible payments plan that is 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. The areas are well developed. No need to worry about electricity, water, and other social amenities. You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555, or visit our website at www.oralblackstarlimited.com. Oral Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Great, folks. Yaba, Mr. Menya Quadro. Unye bi enyambe johnny ya. Bomodia na fa link no, Emma Uniano. Na Uniano ombe johnny line. Na yemfa bibia so entoto na kwemu. Kama. Wati? Now, efa yedri Yenya Ruby X Ghana for Muamunim Ruby X abrante kama or a technician ewa hase na Ruby X no make us say just a edumakui ye from Ghana Tertiary Excellence Award for wonum ayeden ayene se wonona SSL wotumi yi odi nkunim ewo ade o man nominating for best student in sound engineering best student in sound engineering na chese say Ruby X onya sa nkunimdie no na answer na sa nkunimdie no nso beba no na ese ye to no so aba simple titiatia nti aba na ye beto no so no procedure ewo ho procedure no den a ese say ye den ye to aba no ema no abra okọ we follow procedure no star 7 star 447 star 714 hash no wa select another code GT186 no wa to amano ube vote to amano mesrew mo amohwe me next week pepepe o na Ruby X na je say dwumedie na abewi mesrew munye me nue anoboa ema me why inti bibia no yenya no fe wo ne kwan so me bibia na entimi enye fe mesrew spending minutes kakra bi fma mabranti inti star 447 star star 447 star 714 hash na wa select ni code no GT186 na just say enwa no when no ayeden ewie bibia kama so ne bibia deda na kwemu fefe folks efan yedre afie demura esumu already ne expose na nkasa no ye hu adwuma enche be hit Ghana say bam big but we ye the way proper kwemu e de kakai wo ebra wo ye osomni a wo som kwasia da wo be kwa sorry enso na etwa ehwe hye ni na no de bia masama meka kire mo ano no enso na wo Ghana 90% of mon sorry na ya kromfo criminals enya mwo bi na omoboa do akọ Nyankopon fie wo munim ne kura no na omo so omo me enka because wo koken wo madwuma egu but me de meka kire wo me ka say osofo ba akwa asore wo Nigeria wo Nigeria omanimu a asofo a wo mo enso asore tia na nye easy they know say the man is telling the truth. Dr. Abel Damina ne kura wo ka wo Nigeria memu wo kwanya Nigeria and sorry Christosum edin turo and na dam the born Nigerians epo nye binie sa na Ghana so all over Africa. Oh say ya suma aboye nsemu aka tonsa here baba itonsa kese kikoma gadusa iko braka ko fahine sene ko du bia bonia na mumpenifo ni die bone nkoa na anadwi medu rem sa crusade way and expose me be ya chro but Shane said tonight as we bring you this crusade towards religious deception, we showcase a self-styled prophet who estimate that the church members will receive their blessings if they walk through a mounted gate and drop their offering, and then the blessings they receive. Also for a Ghanani, Shekwanya wade sorry money faso say sa kwan we ena sorry money ebenya wo munhira efri Nyankopon. Ekwan we see edua ena ode aye gate ena o say sorry money na emfam na de ha Kwaku en sorry man mu fam 1 ti ubi abefam bia na odi sika to ho ubi abefam bia na odi sika to ho eno no sa gate na odi so no wa bo adwen to Ghana ni trimu say gate na wo fam no wo nhire ni mu na wo wura no na Ghana ni sabi o wentimi hu nyansa se no osofo wo yes your kromfo is a criminal. There is nothing like a blessing for you to walk through this gate. Nothing. Baby anim gate keke what did dia abo gate si wo se fam na nhira e wo muma where how osofo ben ya wo betini din. I want you to watch this and watch it carefully. Na hwe Ghana for a man mema o ade na mo hwehwe enra dia me yitrem Ghana ni ogina Israel ogina the whale war empire war bo ye empire na ye bon na ye de ben for my nim die ni ntimi fanye mobile phone my nim die mi ntimi ko space my ntimi nya car my nim die mi ntimi nya plane no ye be ware ye be nya sika ye be didi ye be nom ye be to dan ye be to kankwase akeka nkwa these domestic useless things Nyankopon bo wi aso de aka ho amayededa. We don't need to pray before we get it, but sawa sofo akromfo weinom some of these akromfo weinom ebe yusu wadwene didi wo wadwene ho say all the time. Take a listen to this. Nemobo, watch this.
Ay ojaba ni msikape o the door esi hono nti wo discard basket ni mu ana wura do ni. Like I say, you are entering into prosperity. You are entering into progressiveness. Every day, you go Christo sumo de. Hey, money making venture pound in the name of faith. To so be to 55 cedi kura calculate we ewura de Nyankopon. Wow. Foolish born again Christians who are believers and not thinkers. Obi akofe do abisi was a first camera na wura do ni. Mese go for ombatombo aboba mo enche. But hwemu ye why ompona bi wo majano hwemu ye why se ga bi wo mna se onim na na se oni na twempona jano but hwemu ye wa bo na oboko na sister bi na ma me bi wo o ma o muska de o mu di ye nie hwemu yi emema no wo mu de be madwo bia nchen wo mu awura de nyankopo ojaba hwiomo ojaba hwiomo Pamto nye free o. Buga bi kura basket ejina honum ti udu ana discard no akura do anim. Pamto nye free why? Ai. Am juma ni yeye. Girl bi jina honum. Basket kuta no ti udu ana de bi tumu anu agura mu. Ina juma ni yeye no. Aba fa ni je wura mu no anu no a wawura wuye dem, wawura wuye yom. Na the eternity say we are moving me feel say oh I next 2-3 months on be say we dem for I after 31st night empire o mko boy nyina
nko asum bi eti say we Ghana ho nko asum ti say kwesiada obesia ye som na mtese den ha ni pada seni den ha mo enko sumo ti say o enipa enam gate mu dodo no aso to say they are intellectual people ko school nim debe there be won be come ejabado o mafa gate mu say gate no mo ko Jerusalem so mo ko he nobody know but wabo atuni trim say enko gie ni nhira nie meni pray net to there now severally I have said and maintained tithing on the Christian calendar had achieved its usefulness. And the church must stop perpetuating this criminal act on God's people in the name of helping God's ministry. Makachiramo akachiramo se asori biara wonmo go so ede tight Ghana ni bia wutua wo tight edemo osofo bi jai wo jai afan we nya ya me ni ho asem e wo pe but mechanical natural. Should I say, tithe are achieving a youthfulness a no. Tithe is no more applicable to the Christian religion. No, it's gone. Also, it doesn't. I don't care whoever also for con. Also for be a would tithe. Why wouldn't say they I'm not lying. Minim. It's a criminal way of exploiting the vulnerable people. Me say, are achieving a yes. That's the truth is one. And also for be a would tight, who squeeze Ghana for at the entro and nada akoshisam kokatre Ghana, especially na unima de omotayo. As someone too wire a trenche be a tono, no abano kasegu adan went your tie this man tini yankopon, ama kanka wemsuno, aba mo omobi real. Kwasiake kankwa. Some funky kankwa, they speak as if saying so go mitrim, a cromfon bunch of rogues and criminals. What the tight, a da Ghana for watching. Na me kwamte, I will crusade until my death to make sure say, Mudu nyankopon din ebeya de pa. Listen, oh, mama ka se minjamo, Christo sumenya de bonio. No, don't get it twisted. Asofo no sa papa oh, and check me the bakuba betna. Me yi adibia kirem. Yes. Asofo no be plenty. At least for what? Not just asofo no papa. But at the say the ekoso Nigeria ya asofo ya sorry tell me. Just say minimum the cry you say. Mufo nyankopon wo boss ro ni asase din enfanya boni say and you don't have fear. You are not scared. Hey. Let's say bio ya bosu mi omugugu nsuo mugugu ekwa muntimi fo mudimpo enya hweo na nkantem se wonu twedua mpo basayadom 2 minutes soro ni asase ne dia the Lord God in mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. You don't care. Mutumi di ni din ebegina bonten edi sisi Ghana fo na munye no enije kwan so ene enibiri kwan so friends also for salvo amakon what just can also do it with joy. What just can if you some also do it with joy. Joy. $2,000 more famra na easy say nemri ube you $2,000 akoto offering mu special de ben when yankopon special offering e de ben but also for say do it with joy ye nije kwan so can you imagine we and was so fear one Nigeria on wo mesiswa enya asam kito na de ekoso Nigerian the same thing in ekoso all over Africa Ghana ka tight ni bre etwem stop exploiting Ghanaians. Mameka Ghana there. As so far Mugo Ghana have the Orthodox churches, the charismatic, the Pentecostal. Stop exploiting Ghanaians with this tight business. Moya kromfo mena mekaye. I said it and I challenge any man of God. Come to my studio. Let's debate about the tithe. I challenge all of you, both Orthodox, charismatic, and Pentecostal. Come, niyan sa tithe no and wasem no ebekwa si saying. Moya kromfo. But Ghana, if you decide to obey your title, but making kind, I educated Ghanaians say, do not be deceived for you to think, say, when Yankupon would maintain one more worry, Jai. Yankupon would tighten one for maintain one more would get you and Quay. Yankupon would tighten into one more in your accident. I'm sorry. Please. Mamma can some FM confusing Ghanaians, sir. When Yankupon pesa. Ohumobro Nyankopon twadu ampo basayadom wodone manyinara sabe de okokro no bokro enra anadwo Nyankopon wa home egunumu ontua ne title. Okay, stop deceiving people. Take a listen to Osofwe and he said the word church ne manfo e wa so dem. Listen to this.
I just came back from Doha. Go and see. It's an Islamic country. Go and see. Go to Dubai and see. You in your country, every Friday night is starting out across the nation. You don't have roads. Uyo to Calabar is fasting and prayer. You used to drive it. The number of tithers in Nigeria. Nigeria should have been the wealthiest nation on earth if tithing was God's device for prosperity. There are some fathers who paid tithe till they died. At their death, there was no money to buy coffin for them. But they paid tithe all their lives. Leave that in. I mean, my own is working for me. Is God a partial God? Why should your own work for you and that old man who is dying now without the hope of a coffin for his burial, but he has been paying tithe from a young boy? Nothing has worked for him. Why will God select to bless you and leave him alone? Is God responsible for class in society? Then if God is responsible for the poor and rich, he must be a wicked God. Then he doesn't really love the world like he says he does. Because if he really loves the world, if he is responsible for one man to be rich, then he should be responsible for every man to be rich. Leave that in. When we speak to you, calm down and listen. We know what we are talking about.
And what can you say? Katite and Kwa, and your mind to say Nigeria. And your mind to say Ghana, or mind to say Kenya, Zimbabwe, South Africa. I'll be who say, I saw for baby nego. And just saw, oh man, a year. Kasamo 10% na modia puni pakro no. Me say, Ghana should be more prosperous than this. This country should have been more richer than now. But all the richness out of the tithe now, Ghana for Nitiano is going into the private bank account of these charlatans, these crooks. Nukrana mumpentia. Yeah. And the tithe ni na ko bottom. Meanwhile, munim nukra na me medwe ho a menim se onyankopon hwe mu din na mudi ni din musi ni din ho atwetwe. Musi onyankopon din no atwetwe o. Na mudi onyankopon din aya atwe otwease na mani kura je keke. But the expose no enam kwam asofo bebre ene no ma didi nkomo a wo ma beka wo manim asem dodo no asero ma ya wo ma dwen so wo nkasa ye dia edin ye hwe wom. But the expose no nobody can stop it. Nobody, no man of God born by a woman can stop that expose. One moment starting so mu ye dede to tobe dede yo na yo me say mu otumi bi mo betimi stop say Kwaku Annan be ka so for wo jare wo bondok ye frewa na opa bra opa memma, but you can't stop us not to tell the story that Ghanaians need to know. Na de say ye hini ye bufuo no and wo mo nsamfun kokamintia touch not the Lord what na mudi onyankopon din IAC atwetwe. The Lord God mighty the Lord mighty in battle. Ni din na mudi twi esi atwetwe no. Na mu nsura de expose na eba wo. Ehom popuye me se enam eba ebeba ubehu ni bi say watch this.
I want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Is here. But beneath them lies darkness, evil, and wickedness. But now, we've reached the breaking point. As a web of Frontline has captured them in an expose shaking the foundation of Christianity in Ghana. Expect more coming days, weeks, and months on the Frontline show with Kwaku Annan. Behind the false holy crown lies dark. They call them holy men of God.
What do you bet? Baby, I just had a tongue was.
But be exposing the be young way papa a quain bia soa ye beboa mo nyankopon din ho atie na enunyam aba ne din ho ne yewe. We are doing it through the Spirit of God, not against any individual bia, no pacho. Now let's move on the political front. On the political front, what's going on? On the global political front, as MBSO, and there Friday, me and Fabin Prapraquem, the former US President Donald J. Trump had narrowly escaped an assassination attempt on his life during Republican National Convention, RNC. And this is how the event occurred, and this is how we captured it here. The former US President Donald J. Trump had narrowly escaped an assassination attempt on his life. And this is how the event occurred, and this is how we captured here. Nanu Donald Kase. Ora Donald Trump, Jabana America for Baby Nei. Which in a convention yasiye on near Dom Cassanel. Saying na yen Ghana yen capture ye dear no. Saying ye capture no. Take a listen to this.
I want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened. Really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Yes. Say na had a capture ye dear. So say Trump no journal Secret Service for na etwa no hwehia no. Straight up na some dey call ground, zero ground. No more protecting no. And Trump gave a very, very emotional speech telling the people of Americans how the new government is going to be, all right? It was a great one. Well resonated speech with Americans in terms of trade, the economy, the politics. You may be brave. We need a friend, a visionary leader. When he said the people bring Trump as him, but I we are sitting. Now, on the local front here in Ghana, The flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, had announced the cedi is the best performing currency in the global world against the US dollar in spite of the current surge, or if you like, the rates of the dollar and goods and services. NPP flag bearer Muhammadu Bawumia or say Ghanaian cedi no and only the performing currency so far. The minimum but on why I do baby if you name say now I'm so yes sure papa. Sen or can take a listen to Bawumia.
Cedi is performing quite well and reflecting the fundamentals, and currently the cedi is the best performing currency in the world against the US dollar. Hey, Asemo. cedi is performing quite well and reflecting the fundamentals, and currently the cedi is the best performing currency in the world against the US dollar. Hey, Asemo.
We are, you can say. You can say. No one may come with you. Folks, we should be you. A bra currency, no, a CDTS, no, what say is the best currency so far, performing against the bank. A London-based research and data firm, Fitch, had predicted 54% win for John Dramani Mahama. But the founder of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, former and late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, cautioned the NDC this day. Yeah, kasi. And koma ye be din name re a Fitch solution for as a John Mahama say ni ade plus ni me pi ye de beka ho serious nkomo pa. Now ebra asemi beto a form fitin ranom utumi say NDC for no yeah I saw mo ho ababa mo kama beside the point global info analytic for the enso e buy no so ama NDC for no kushi no mo kakra enra the enso e buy so ama NDC for no yeah, but the former president who is the founder of this very party warned the NDC against this day. Says Sada say Ebebama Kwemu. A Kwebe so and a former and late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings cautioned the NDC. Take a listen to him.
The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it? I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjir. The nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with. And they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us. We will ride and override any obstacle as we did in the past. underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjir. The nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with, and they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us. We will ride and override any obstacle as we did in the past. The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know.
NDC. Sharpen your eyes. More Papa, the late, former and late Flight Lieutenant General Rawlings reminds you today. Yeah. Now, maybe can't see me on the religious belt and the tight wasem. May you research be now. Did you make copies and say, wait a minute, what's going on? Now, it was enra, and a confirmation to this. The whole of Ghana, but I still stand to be corrected, but that's what my research say. I saw be any Ghana ha kwesiada, Womonto collection, Now, Womonto collection, echo to the church. Adi asor lebeyano, asor mani ni mhoshe. Also for nepe, what idea of where the collection should go. Any account to echo. But my research has uncovered something that I have to confess, I'm shocked. To my disbelief, outermost disbelief. I say, one God has come under avalanche of criticism and has received some condemnation about the fact he said, Wabeka assembly to him say, picture ya Abba Ewiase for God knows how many centuries or no so can answer say no. Debut 500 years airquay yadime me nebe samfuni no so no do nipa Jesus Christ they do onye nipa as real as the Jesus no obi image near the toss into so no say on so emfa image and to so mfenkwa. Now, by the way, look at how stupid that we are, the whole world. That somebody's image, that all of us, all the Christian bodies in the world have worshipped this Saint Angelo, God knows how many years, centuries. And the Poma worship here. Now, Obi say, Ononi suni image nye, into ono di abetua, nipa si ebedi natem. Eyo software friend no, adum chedua. See, hey, now then Angelo, the yanko diatemi. I am expecting the Ghanaian Asofora Mudi Diatemno that all of you by close of tomorrow take your flight out to Rome and go to the Vatican and go and ask the Roman Pope. Kwanamunkobisa the Pope of Vatican. Why so mudi say picture away and the tour? When we hear sa effigy debate, we are saying some people should go there. Ghanaians and some koho. Asofora Mudi sa papa natemno and some koho namukobisa the Pope of Vatican. Why have you put in this picture away Say we are seeing some. Is it the Jesus Christ you are talking about? The Roman Church have lied to the world for God knows how many centuries, and we are all comfortable. Nobody has opened a word. Now, or no say or the picture, or no say the picture. Ebeba paper so, say calendar so. We are since from the 500 years. I want any people money. Almost money. But no one put in hear me. Do you know what I've uncovered? What I've uncovered is say that man of God. Not sorry. My friend says this second chance or something, right? Remain the church so far I've discovered. Say, you tight. That's what I've uncovered. You tight was all them. And here one. Number two, there are times where Papa ni jina saw them what. Sikanwa. Say collection said they ben come beje no afomu wi a osan tam say sika no echaman sorry man samonye na mfo nkosi konku. How? I mean, why? No. I think that man Adum Chedia has won my heart for the true sense of the Spirit of God and how when Yankopo boni wi asesonias asese yembeso say na esamoye. Esan say enipa na beba so dem no ochine kwesi dodo na ebekọ ateku kaprenu say the Ghana esi aye di na the same time Ghana ni kosa so dem no was sample dwen say eh ne sika ben Ghana for tiem o or say dwen bisa say ne sika ben no de koto collection ne kra na Ghana ni dadwene. Why must this be? No so for be jina so dem so no and man to collection ti e be sen akoran ye dwi ubotom na sika ni na because onyankopon Jesus kan di akoye o mo sini o mo ni akromfo bibisa how many times and a Kwanchanka you better collection wa Kwanchanka be chama so man how many times Danka Williams you better collection na Danka Williams be chama so no how many times and a Dinasari obeyesa how many times and old tablo obeyesa they will never do it and sit down. Oh, ain't see that. And I me produce about kind of credible. Or see we see that when see me. Ain't see that. Say sana dum chedia. What you or if what I've uncovered is that of what you or what? No. I'm sorry what? I'm telling you folks. I'm not joking. Mama ma yensisi esumtia sesao. Debi Nyankopon pesa. So obeka nyamesem akire nipa e wa so dem ho wie na owie a sika bia e benya ho no wase se yenche ma obi anya bia da bi enhira e wo mu e ma se obeje e de kogu ne bank account no wedi ni kwa. No, David. Me who I haven't seen some before in Africa. Yo, modia na modoto to SUVs. Luxurious cars. Na Ghana hakra na so for mo hai ye mam kwan a mo beto private jet but eni beba hunti muntimi nto. Akromfo nko a competition left right and center. Oh there I'm still investigating more to know say Sana but I'm talking to a top person here what say Kwaku that's what is going on there. Hey, Chesi kind of man sorry man how? What's wrong with that man? Okay, you're fine easy way. Finally, but tonight we want to ask the following questions on the proposed LI granting siren use right to MPs, ministers of state, judges, high-ranking government officials. And our question we demand to know, Enye, will it be reasonable or prudent that one particular moment we all wake up to see about 20 of the above persons are parading on our streets, heading to meetings with this of noise, of this symbol of success, and all attention is on them. Now we are in parliament. We see somewhere to say, and pitches some to say, some members of parliament or so Some ministers of state, some judges, ye mo who by say, ye be mo kwan mo de siren motorcade edi o manim. Wo mo kwa for meetings on behalf of nyomo on us, on behalf of yen. Omuko meetings. Tie mo kwan. Mo fasa na ne na mi bi so man adwi say afi mo hwa de na yenwe ho. Say ni nyansa pa na mu susu pa be wo mu ni sen say dakwa na pa ye be da ye be sorry. Na sa nkrofo yi. The ministers, the judges, MPs, why all these high-ranking government, emu be 20 crowd them say doso, for say be 10. Na paya sorry a. See a krum pa no we have cho the whole capital ni na no. For say nkran Kumasi Volta region him from woman nam kronum de any siren way. E dey ba semwa. Womu ko meetings. Are you people serious? Mudrine. Hey. Muko meetings on our behalf. Therefore, you must go to these meetings with this siren motorcade with unlimited speed. That's the reason why in here. Sir, Motor Traffic Regulation 2012 no moko amend na say na be amutumi akomrika. Mudrine the reason why I'm so angry and pissed off is for the fact that for you people to conceive that idea in the first place, not even the withdrawal. No, I'm not pissed off because of that. I am pissed off. Say, mutumi kwenya sa dream way, dream yourself. Mude koto parliament to her. Niyama mukwain siren inye dede. Ewo menim because muko meetings on our behalf. Ajare for the leadership of this country. Muyare, you are sick. Muhia mental. Some of you, I can see that some of you need some mental observation. If not to say, many of them are sick of them and schizophrenic. It's a sickness I've defined several times where the individuals become withdrawal and often hear voices and hallucination. And yes, I'm going to mean your way. Yanseni bi enu wiase obetimi atena say wokotena parliament ananimra shebedwem say wokoye we e de amane manfo say moma me kwana me fast nti anapa ya sorry no be MPs and say ministers a judge for any high ranking government official nam kronum pa where you quote free Pierre to ya nam kronum say papa na attention abom so keke attention. Oh, you do this and draw an attention onto yourself. Why? Smoke meetings on our behalf. You are sick. Moyare. And tempana marriage draw. But listen, we still want to remind them the Kenyan situation is not far from us. Yepesi Kayemo said the Kenyan struggle now air course with Kenya no and yet far from us. And here number one. Number two, the Kenyan narrative is not different from us. The Kenya phony air cano and yet different from us. And he had the same. Number three, the Kenyan struggle is not different from ours. Now, or how any to kwa Ghana for yekum, the same na Kenya for yekum. Yes. Nti muma mweni naho. Ne munyan some fun ni mpechisam ni adia nyansa enim mpanimfo ya mo tumi ya dia samonsa munkoye ni se keke dabi mukoya muko siki mu amu den mo dia ebema mo ho atomo na muntie. The narrative of the African child, the narrative of the African man, the narrative of the African woman are all the same. Our men in the apex of leadership must sit up. And of course, more sit up, say, sit up. And the reason is that the power to the people cannot be underestimated. You can be we say the African child Africa akora wo Ghana wo Nigeria wo Kenya, Zimbabwe, Togo, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast womo ka asem baako. Ghana ni be manoa. Ghana no Ghana be manoa owa ha no. Ghana ni be ma owa ha. Nigeria ni be mano. Kenyan be mano. South Africa womu na wo ka asem baako. Sa ena oba no wo Ghana ha no. Eni oba no wo Nigeria ni Kenya no womu na so ka asem baako. Eyo how tete kodanna ohia abebrese abenedie ni apinisie ena mode yen efem. But asem baako beto mutrim na manya mo ho ntiase se he tumi na enim ho tumi ne wo ye ho. The maker chama say do not, and I repeat for the last, do not underestimate the power of the people. No. The Kenyan people, and I say the Kenyan government underestimated the power of the people. And they do medru. Okay? Mama underestimated. Nenye bibi and Kenyan government have been ministers are to William, Kwaya Meslim, Imipo Menuam, Odotom, Omujane, they have to run away, leaving all the properties they amassed. Okay? Womu need sense of magnanimity. There be bunch of rogues, criminals, thieves. Amamoyefo sa Ghana sa na motie the apex of leadership. Ni na ye yamfom nsedu. Nsa asesem. Na woni ma de ba kon ye so annoying when you listen to the radio. Na o share intellectual discussion bi koswa. Aban ya MPP aban wo teso no. Na ye kan nsa asesem matunton sa se wo prime areas. Matunton bi ha fa hisre ha enem ni ade a no yen hwemu nka sa asem the most annoying discussion me tia kwaku na me hu yem se BBC ko studio na boni panasuma ni bibi nya no because mo bu badam. And the only thing that you can the reference point is oh no we ni musu ye bi quickly e can know the nenam ho apaso ne ye kan o e se so me ya ahweye ni krado no mati asem na o makoye asem no yefo no da bi no sorry na anu ya na akomi akotena Joy FM foolishly doing same. John FN say Abujinapo, the Minister for Land, on also got Joy FM. You interview on also the same. Nam say ajare for mujare. You as if you wash your face upwards. How dare you take Ghanaians for a ride? Sane pape moi. Well, said the BNM say politicians are more Africa. Ma bona mu nsua de ne mu ni mu nim nyansa no. The reason why government bia no untimi ntra so reason didn't ne pam NDC for. I am one, and I've always said this. I've never regretted it. What some of us we told John Mahama in the days of John Mahama in power. And then my colleague journalist being TRCM, so I don't care. Me, take me to be who I am. And for me, the day of reckoning back, we could mean spell. You could be whoever mean spell. You are a friend. I will tell you. Yeah, fina me be ya o tell me we are. Now we din samfo we could mean to me meka. Na no domo ye na nyanti na yeso mo nkotra fie wo ba yesi dua Kwaku Annan se trase no e me dua bugu ni tinti kuma ko trase why mistake mo ye the same mistake e koka na reference point ni say oh ena na no ena ye ton say ena we Jomama e ton we ena say nkwase akeka ni samfo jimie ni mpachie kasa say intellectual discourse no mo keka we radio so giving reference point of what happened some years back. What the year reference me hiding? What do you reference say? What do you think you should even make that reference in the first place? We've condemned it already. We've punished them for that. Why are you doing same? And then giving me the reference to watch what? What's sin winning America? Anything you punish a woman on? Your reference point to justify your bunch of rogue criminal offense. And some less communicators no muso abetratra sa o radio say no mu ye dede ai and NDC for no so and o say science say and o ye say nese here e Jimmy for Bible naka e wo Proverbs 26 ma Jimmy for no hu se we Jimmy mananya na adwe so enyanseni e Jimmy na mo Jimmy. And we need to tell you, stop stealing our lands, stop stealing our hotels, stop looting the state coffers, stop massaging the consolidated fund, stop it. Munya sikadie ni medie mumfa musika ngodi wom munya isa mudi musika Yesika etoto dying cars, luxurious buildings for women. Let the country grow. We deserve better. We deserve a responsible leadership. We deserve goods, better goods and services. We don't have electricity. We don't have road networks. We don't have the health sector. So many things. You need some way now. Against the backdrop of going to secure siren to make noise in the whole of the capital. Your road networks and your papa. Yet they feel proud. They feel the alacrity, the prowess, a sense of reasoning to go there and make this noise. You're not even in a minute second to think about this. But again, I'm going to tell you this. The Kenyan situation is not far from us. Take a listen and watch it and watch carefully. Watch this.
Good evening, the people of Kenya. The Constitution of Kenya of 2010, Article 1, Sub-Article 1, says all sovereign power belongs to the people and shall only be exercised in accordance with the Constitution. Today, I tender my resignation as a Cabinet Secretary in the government of Kenya. I want to offer my heartfelt apology to the people of Kenya for the greed, high-handedness, selfishness, arrogance, nepotism, tribalism, and all the bad things that we have done to you in the last 2 years. When we came to power, we called ourselves shareholders and decided that most Kenyans are not part of the government, are no longer part of the state, and do not have any human rights. We went ahead and received bribes from all over the world, and especially from Dubai. We bought very expensive watches, some as expensive as 1 million Kenya shillings equivalent in dollars. We bought belts worth 50,000 shillings, and we made sure that citizens know how expensive we have become. In a country where poor families cannot pay their children's school fees, we were wallowing in luxury. I want to sincerely apologize, and I want to say today that I am ready to give out all the bribes that I have received for the last 2 years, all the properties that I have now, which can be traced back to the bribes that I received, will be surrendered to the state tomorrow, early in the morning. Should I get a chance to serve the people of Kenya again, I will stop the greed, I will stop the arrogance, but most importantly, I will be accountable to the people of Kenya. To the Police High Command, the Inspector General, who also tendered his resignation, I want to urge him to take Kenyans to all the graves where the bodies are hidden. It is time for accountability. Thank you, dear Kenyans.
A minister of Kenya, a big brother be or Simpa, Big Joe, or share program we was Simpa. Big Joe, salute you, bro. You are enjoying the show a lot. Big Joe was Simpa. Nana Kwame, Ozu Simpa. Mozomo share program. Ufru ana oko takwan swayim ebwa. Mo enjoy program. Nana Kwame, Big Joe, Daniel, all of you, you are enjoying the show. Me call short break. Me bar. Before me guest bed joining me, I need to make some very serious statement to be at the better. Stick and stay. This is your weekend Frontline. I'll be back shortly, and then we continue the rest of the program.
And in Sawam, our lands are very affordable and has no litigation issues. Our lands comes in various sizes such as 70 by 100, 35 by 100, and among others. We have a flexible payments plan that is 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. The areas are well developed. No need to worry about electricity, water, other social amenities. You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555, or visit our website at www.oralblackstarlimited.com. Oral Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Great, folks. Welcome back. This is the Frontline, and of course, the edition is Ghana Speaks, proudly brought to you by Oral Black Star for Kwajasa Sinibi. Na Bibia enye kama enfema. Mpacho enye free. Asasina abakwa kwajino enye free. Why? But ombe in such a way say ubetia betimi tua na kakra. Odi mi din kodia ubetimi enya asasino kakra. Na utu yana kakra na chese omote sema onso na utu yana kakra na yese why then wasana na wekwesi wodan. Yes, Oral Black Star for no sa na biogas expert for no so AC dan ye niam bebre munim deda omo so bomoden na contact omo no mo so emwa. Now in the coming days, mankase weeks, so everywhere a woman na aka ho. In the coming days, the Frontline would publish an intercepted intelligence report about some extrajudicial killing in the country. According to the report, some of the victims are Nigerian nationals. A breaker create be a die enemy. Yeah, the report here by Betuga. Very disturbing report. Kwanya or main security apparatus by. Yeah, this are quite we are born, say. Woman on with this age me. Na ye kunkum ni pano. Baby. Very disturbing, extrajudicial killing. Yes. Folks, but before my guest be joining me now, my men fast same way and to that quickly. And where maybe Kenyamin, there are some journalists here and out there know about this. Unze me can say me check Ghana for some time is a me say a room aye bibi oho. But me say the months of June all to the end of July be endeno ena me de hwa de Mokai, I started talking about this way back and samekoye me papa yeyo say Ghana for my mom paye bi nyem paye say here sana but ye na ye nya hwe yi se ewiomu a aye huhu ne mununkum bi e yakata ye so no pa se ba be sia ko all the way July ending kra no na me hwe ade. And I still stand by this. But tonight, Maminye quite a bit specific. Akra any form of, call it fake subversion biya. Any fake of subversion biya. Any pebi tio. Any form of fake subversion biara. Nipa bi pese o mu stage. Wo mu stage because see a pese ye dey subvert the political process o. So on pese o mu dey twi bibi ko akire maybe abato no kra emma so o. Say wo mu pese o mu dey secure wo mu ho o se de be yo. Well, ebi ye be ti na so mo fa nye adwuma. Nemom assuming say esia I feel bet you can understand me pretty much more better than I'm saying it. But I hope and I pray they don't even venture there. Any fake attempt of coup, any fake military coup, any fake group of people, biara, mubashi shawom, Edward Maya to say move overthrow government to say debenyo, net through the back door. Another process has to start all over again. No. Munyai. Baby. Asma mi ken kwakunya me nkwa na me pri. I know. And there are lots of people within in the intelligentsia aware of this. They are aware of this. Timoma baby enyo. Na omei. Yena so far we share polls aba on Wednesday many Global Info Analytics for one executive director Musa Dankwa yedi nkomo ha. Ghana for muhini na negu screen is John Mahama taking the lead in the month of July. He walked down the aisle into glory. Appear just like that. Adetiye Thursday, which is yesterday, then another poll coming from Fitch Solutions giving John Mahama 54%, of course, also walking down the aisle. And your many, and then the latest one, the Afro Barometer, 77%. Giving credence to the fact that Ghanaians are crestfallen. Then, out of 10 Ghanaians counted, 9 and Kuno, say Ghana is moving towards the wrong direction. As Mpapenie, what are these things? Nobody countenance on this to subvert the process, folks. My guests are ready. Of course, my welcome back to Ghana Speaks Extension. And of course, in this edition, we speak to Mensa Thompson, founder and executive director of the Alliance for Social Equity, Public Accountability, ASIPA. He's a friend and a brother, bro. Good. Good to see you, bro. It's been a while. Very.
Last time we met like this was on Net 2.
Yes. Yeah. Of course, Net 2.
The last time we had a show.
Mensa, we've been on radio, Hot FM, you remember? Yeah, and all of that. Yes. Mensa is a brother. Yeah. And tonight, we're coming so Hana. Yababedi and Kom. Of course, he's the executive director of this very Idumukui. And they're also doing a great stuff out there. But now, tonight, my name is Babedi Nkomo on all the issues happening, the running mate staffs and all the polls coming in and all of that. Mensa, Yensha Simfree, how ASIPA looks at this running mate narrative. The question maybe is, what is this running mate bring to the table? I mean, if you have to look at it from that perspective.
Is it from both parties?
Yeah, both parties.
From both parties.
Yeah.
Okay. Become a mincheti for enumerate. You know, say you can say elections are you will your constitution, no, and that's most democracies make a provision for a running mate.
Yeah.
Who later becomes the president, assuming the ticket wins. For a ticket to be complete, you must have the flag bearer or the presidential candidate and a running mate. Now, the choice of running mate goes through a very complex consideration.
Yeah.
Now, depending on the circumstances at the time, elections are different, and in every election, the considerations are very different.
Yeah.
It share from. Let me go back to 2008. Then candidate Mills.
Okay.
What informed his choice of running mate in the person of John Dramani Mahama. In that race, there were so many people up for considerations.
Yeah.
But the peculiar situation of that election and how polarized the country was required somebody who was an ardent communicator, who could explain the issues of the NDC properly, who could consolidate and bring some interest from the northern factor.
Okay.
And then also somebody who could help unify the party.
The base.
The base of the party. And that was a consideration. So other people who were equally qualified. But the consideration in that election, what the party was going into the election was looking out for, they felt they could have that in John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
And so in every election, that's why every election is the consideration.
The dynamics
are different.
Yeah.
But the general factors that we know, regional balance, if the candidate is from the south,
that's right.
Definitely the consideration is that the running mate will come from any of the minority ethnic groups, and then what competencies does the running mate bring to the table?
Yeah.
In terms of personal achievements, previous roles, experiences, and then the person's personal character traits. You know, like somebody who is very efficient, excellent communicator, to unite, knows how to engage with key interest groups and stakeholders. All of these things are qualities that always come to bear when in discussing issues like running mate. Now, in the NDC, if you look at what went into the choice of running mate in the NDC, the party had run in 2020 with Professor Jane Anopo-Kwaku.
Okay.
She's the first female vice chancellor of a major university in Ghana. Been a minister for education. Who is not very political. Has been a long-standing gender advocate.
Okay.
So in 2020, the NDC thought that, look, we have a candidate, John Dramani Mahama, who is a core party person, who's been through the ranks right from the level up to the top, have served in the leadership position of every stage of our governance system, including president. So that person, so he's very well known and very well marketed. Now, but in 2016, the NDC lost hugely in the university campuses.
2020?
In 2016.
Oh, 2016, okay.
Hugely in the university campuses. There are some of the university campuses the NDC recorded as low as 0 votes.
Wow.
Yes. So, the NDC felt that, look, why don't we bring in somebody who is not extremely political, but will be able to appeal to academia, will be able to appeal to women groups who have always been gendering and shouting for the implementation of affirmative action policies that would or give women access to leadership roles. So the NDC decided to go with Professor Nana Jane Opoku. Of course, the regional balance also came into consideration. The candidate is from the northern region, then the running mate is from the southern part.
Yeah.
In 2024, the NDC looked at the dynamics and the circumstances and said, look, we took Professor Gina Nopokwa in 2020. We marketed her, and now we believe the strategies that we implemented around her is coming into fruition.
Wow.
And so 2024 now will be the best time for us to harvest the political capital of all the noise we made in 2020.
Yeah.
Because 2020, she was just brought onto the scene. She's not very politically known, you know, has been behind the scenes, even though is a very astute professional and academic, you know. A lot of work had to be done on her.
Yeah.
So a lot of work went into her in 2020. Now, if you look at the strategy was that, look, we've taken this woman, marketed her in 2020. Yes, even though the political capital was marginal, we believe that that was a seed we planted.
Exactly.
And so this is the time all the hard work we put around her
to be harvested, kind of
has, you know, would mature. And so in 2020, when the crucial election as 2024, where you need the women vote to count, you need the gender vote to count, you need the policy people, you need this the civil society interest, you need the academic interest, and all those votes to count.
Yeah.
Then it will be a very great strategy to then now bring it to her. So bring her on board, maintain the ticket, so you create that kind of consistency.
That's right.
And then you'll be able to harvest those votes. And so it will be interesting to see how, you know, all those work, how many, you know, votes all those work is going to bring on board after the 2024 elections. Then we come to the NPP.
Great. That's why I wanted to bring you in.
Now,
as a PES assessment.
Now, the NPP was caught between the devil and the deep Red Sea.
Really?
They were caught between the devil and the deep Red Sea. Because, one, for the first time in the history of the elections, for whatever reason, they forced a candidate to lead the party. That is the main flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia. And then after Dr. Bawumia had emerged as a candidate, all polls consistently showed that the core traditional vote, which the candidate should be able to bring on board, and then the running mate then now appeal to accession of floating voters to top it up to win the elections.
Okay.
And so that's why you have each party have 5 million votes here in the NPP, 5 million votes here in the NDC. And then the floating voters, about 800,000 votes.
That's right. Scores it up.
Which now whoever is able to get the floating votes, majority of floating votes, win the elections.
Exactly.
Now, after they elected Dr. Bawumia, they realized that the candidature of Dr. Bawumia could not bring on board the core traditional MPP voters.
That's serious.
And all their internal researchers showed that Dr. Bawumia could not consolidate the base of the party, could not bring the core NPP voters, the traditional 5 million ardent people who at any day will vote for the NPP no matter what you do. Dr. Bawumia was doing around 60% to 65% of their core vote or their core voters. So that leaves them in a huge deficit.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the NDC have their core traditional voters in the basket. So if you look at all the polls done, Musa Dankwa, you could see clearly that
the trajectory is online.
You could see clearly that the NDC core voters are already in the basket. The NDC, John Mahama is able to bring all the core 5-6 million traditional NDC voters to the table. So now, a little hard work from Professor Gina Nopokwa to bring in the gender vote could sway the elections in their favor. But here the NPP are, with their flag bearer, doing or managing a paltry 65% of the traditional NPP voters, leaving about 35% of the core NPP voters.
So hanging somewhere.
Hanging somewhere. So already you've lost out in the elections. So what would the solution be in this situation? Now the only obvious situation, or the only feasible solution for them was now to look into their stronghold and get a candidate who they believe could consolidate the core base of the party, bring all the core base of the party together, or at least to bring the 35% which Dr. Bawumia is not able to consolidate, bring them on board, so that they can be at par with the NDC. Then now they can struggle for the floating voters.
That's right.
So that was the strategy.
Oh, okay. Then they'll go for the floating voters.
Floating voters. So now they can now, yes, because if this one has all his voters and you don't have all your voters, no matter what, even if we give you all the floating voters, he's already ahead.
Make it,
You can make it.
The deficit is huge.
Yes. So now you need to level up. Then you can now compete for the floating voters. And so the strategy was, let's look into our stronghold and see who can help us in our stronghold to consolidate our core voters.
Wow.
Now a number of names came up. Osechi Mensah-Bonsu's name came up.
Dr.
Joe Wise, Dr. Juchum, and then our own Matthew Opoku-Prempeh.
I'm the chief of staff.
Yes, all those ones. Yes, but in all these conversations, they had already settled on Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh last year.
Oh, last year, Tom.
Somewhere last year. Okay. Because some way, somehow, the power brokers in the party, and when I say power brokers, I'm not talking about the current power, I mean the previous, the Kufuor faction, and some way, somehow, we're able to convince Dr. Bawumia that it's only Matthew Opoku-Prempeh who can bring in the core traditional voters of MPP to the table of his royal lineage. And he's a typical Ashanti, and he's from Menchia. And he's a grandson of a former Asante Heme. And so he could bring in all the votes. That assumption would have been right. That assumption would have been perfect, except the candidate that is settled on now, even though we'll be able to bring a section of the traditional MPP core voters to the table, will struggle to appeal to the floating voters.
Explain this to me.
And this is because there are a number of things floating voters consider in taking decisions to vote or choose candidate or party. One, your personal appeal. Two, your engagement relationships.
See.
Three, your communication. Four, your competencies and track record. Now, if you put all these things in a basket, let's assess Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. Competencies. He's been education minister before, at least. We've seen him before our eyes. He's been minister for energy. We've seen him perform before our eyes.
So would you rate his performance at education as one of the best ministers we had?
You're a floating voter too. Are you impressed? Are you impressed?
From that standpoint.
One, when he was Minister for Education, much of Poku, when he came to the Education Ministry, children without desk was about 30% at the ministry. Basic school children
30%.
Who did not have access to desk in schools.
Yeah.
By the time Napo left office in 2017, the figure has moved to 40%. An increment of an extra 10% more school children don't have access to desk. When Napo came to the Education Ministry, he's the first minister to implement the free SHS program. Failed to plan for the policy, woefully intervene to put in intervening mechanisms, eventually landing us into a double track system. Napo is the reason why today our school children go to school for 3, 6, 7 weeks and stay home for 3 months.
Currently, we have this.
And we have a number of pregnancies, the children are getting pregnant and all the mess we have. Number 3, have you seen the nature of the food our school children are eating in the schools?
Very, very, very
It's because of Machupuku Prempe. Immediately he took over as Minister for Education, he took away the procurement of food items. You know, at first, the headmasters were the one buying the food items.
Yeah.
He decided to take away the food items, the procurement from the headmasters, and centralize everything in Accra and awarded contracts to his cronies. So now you're a headmaster in Zabzugu Senior School in the north, and a supplier comes from Accra to say, I've been awarded a contract to come and supply you food.
Can you imagine this?
Meanwhile, the headmasters were sourcing the food from the local communities, the local farmers. One, it was cheaper. 2, it was boosting the local economy.
Yeah. But even that, still somewhere that they are not being paid.
And it was reducing transportation costs. Now, the contract is awarded in Accra. The person buy the foodstuffs in Accra, move it from Accra to Tamale to go and supply.
How?
So you see the policy, competencies of Machupuku Prempe. And that is what has created the debt. So it created a lot of, so the contract people, now the people want to also borrow money to supply things. I mean, they messed up the entire feeding system in the secondary schools.
Yeah.
And today, as we speak, the food served in our prisons are way better than what our children are eating in the secondary schools.
Very terrible.
And that is, and this is, and we are not concocting this.
No.
These are facts.
Yeah.
That
we show some of the videos. Some other stations even did documentaries.
Media houses have reported so many times. These are indisputable facts. Okay. Then you come to quality. Napo changed our curriculum in the basic schools, and for 4 good years failed to provide books for the curriculum. As we speak, the new curriculum being implemented, teachers still don't have textbooks. So teachers now have to go and find their own materials. As for the corruption, I don't want to even go there. As for the corruption, in COVID here, I awarded a $1 million contract to a company to develop a learning management system for the schools.
What?
Yes,
$1 million?
$1 million contract to develop just a software so that the children can, for virtual learning. The software was never used. So sourced, breached the procurement law
at the Ministry of
Education. The software was never used. As we speak, the software is redundant. Was never used. $1 million paid. They awarded a contract to a company called KE Technologies to supply laptops to the teachers. More than half of the teachers up to date don't have their laptops. Still.
But the contractor has been paid.
Monies have been paid. Marset, you remember, he awarded a contract to a company.
I quite remember. They imported the Marset.
Yes, and the Marset and calculators. The calculators. At the time he awarded the contract, the market value of a calculator was 45 cedis. That's the market price. So he ordered it at wholesale price at 75 cedis for one. So sourced the company. Eventually, the company could not even deliver, supply all the mass set. His successor, Educhum, came to cancel the contract, but monies were paid to the guys.
This is very explosive.
Now let's go to Ministry of Education. Ministry of Energy. No, I'm just breaking these things so we can understand that at least, unlike Dr. Baumia, who before he became running mate, he'd worked in an enclosed area like the central bank, which a number of things are not privy to the public.
Exactly.
And so we couldn't assess his competency, understanding levels. It's just we just listened to his lectures and we took a decision on him. For Matthew Opoku Prempeh, we've seen him 8 years before our very eyes at the Ministry of Energy. You see the problems we have with the IPPs, the Doomsday debacle, and the needless, attacks he had on us when we asked him just for a common timetable, the insult. He told us that we should go and print our own timetable when he was Minister for Energy. But those are even the least of the problems of NAPO at the Ministry of Energy. I'm going to tell you some things NAPO did at the Ministry of Energy that will shock you and your viewers. The corruption NAPO has sat on and perpetrated at the Ministry of Energy. The first one was the Acre deal. When NAPO became Minister for Energy in 2021, the first thing he did was to quickly rush to Parliament under a certificate of urgency that Parliament should allow him borrow $1.3 billion to buy the Acre block. The block which Acre acquired from Hess Oil at the cost of $100 million. Within 6 years, NAPO wanted to buy that block at the cost of $1.3 billion. We had to, shout and shout and shout and shout and shout. We asked him, bring the numbers to the numbers, because we believe that block is not worth $1.3 billion.
It's quite huge, though.
My brother, when we stopped that transaction, do you know how much that block was sold eventually?
Tell us.
$1.
I didn't hear this, and I don't want to say that this is a joke.
The block, the Acre block that NAPO wanted to sell to Ghana at the cost of $1.3 billion
$1.3 billion
was sold to Africa Finance Corporation at the cost of $1, $1 single dollar.
And Parliament is watching this?
Yes.
Parliament is superintending this?
Yes.
Till this present time?
But even they approved it. Even Parliament approved the contract. It was later that, CSO was, it became...
Because civil society, yes, all of you made a lot of noise. Yeah.
The block was eventually sold to Africa Finance Corporation at the cost of $1. Practically left the block to AFC and said, look, go and look for money and develop it. When you hit oil, bring your sum. That's all. But NAPO wanted to sell that block to Ghana at the cost of $1.3 billion. Don't worry, that is not the worst. You haven't heard the worst. Wait.
Because, Thompson, I've heard you bits and pieces of this out there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you are here today and make us understand all that Ghanaians need to know.
Yeah.
Because then I guess that it's not like somebody's conjecturing.
No.
They're all verifiable.
No, the documents are there. Yeah. I have the documents here on my phone. I can share with your producers. $1 single dollar.
Are we serious?
$1. The Acre block was sold to Africa Finance Corporation at the cost of $1. But NAPO wanted to come and take Ghana $1.3 billion to go and spend.
The taxpayers' money.
$1.3 billion just to go and spend. I said you haven't heard the worst. That is even the of the things NAPO has done.
Great, but there was something I was about to ask you, and that has to do with the the transmission of this thermal plant to Kumasi.
I'm coming. That's what I'm saying. That is not the worst of the things NAPO has done at the ministry.
I'm sure you've gotten that signal.
Yes. I'll come there. Okay.
Wow.
Then Mary.
Oh God of Israel. Hey.
Mary.
Very interesting.
You know that Mary contract was a BOOT.
Yes.
Build, own, operate, and transfer. Now, Mary has finished their tenure. They have to hand over the plant to us.
Government of Ghana.
Government says, I want to relocate the plant to Kumasi. For whatever reason, we don't know.
Ghanaians, please understand this, because a lot of people are confused how the plant get to Ashanti region.
We don't know why, because, my brother, when you wear a plant, it takes less than 3 seconds for power to move from the transmission line from Takoradi to Kumasi.
Yes, less than a second.
Less than 3 seconds. For whatever reason, we don't know what purpose, but granted, they said they wanted to, NAPO said they wanted to move the plant from Takoradi to Kumasi.
But CSOs, have you grilled to understand what went into this?
Let me break this story down, because Ghanaians need to understand the issues properly. Then they called a company called Metka.
Oh, Metka.
Metka. To come and relocate the plant. Then Metka submitted a technical and financial proposal to the Ministry of Energy at a cost of $25 million. That they said Metka said it was going to cost them $25 million to move from Takoradi to Kumasi, assemble it and whatever. Then, as usual, NAPO went into negotiations with them to go and negotiate the contract. Guess what? After the negotiation, NAPO came out of the negotiation, and the contract has moved from $25 million to $36 million.
Jesus.
So NAPO is the only minister who has gone to negotiate the contract and come back with an extra $11 million. Ebia beka ho. Oko 70 so no.
And to so no 25 million kwate so.
Oko negotiation ni wi o buy na contract na move from $25 million to $36 million.
Lord merciful.
The $11 million are also. That is not the worst. Then VRA wrote to the minister.
Asipa, you guys have built a lot on NAPO.
Then VRA wrote to the minister and said, Minister, we VRA, we have been managing these plants.
All this
while. Don't worry. We can move this plant from Takoradi to Kumasi for you if you want. VRA. They wrote a letter. And I have the letter here. I will show you.
Really? Not that the public is aware, heard much of this VRA stand.
Yes.
Preposition.
VRA wrote an extensive letter. Let me show you the letter VRA wrote.
Or perhaps maybe just read one paragraph or sort of. For the purposes of clarity now.
VRA wrote a letter to the minister saying that, Minister, don't worry.
I'm sure the Ghanaian politicians are quiet.
We can relocate this plant for you. See, what is this? Volta River Authority. Senior Staff Association. National Secretary Sombo. I'm going to read the conclusion for you.
Good one.
Based on the reason above, we wish to humbly appeal to the Honorable Minister for Energy to 1. Take a second look at the agreed EPC contract cost of $36 million with vis-a-vis the $25 million offer. Allow Betulous SA to undertake the EPC activities. Reconsider and make the authority undertake the O&M activities instead of Miscellaneous SA.
This is instructive. Thompson, can we show this letter on
Yeah. I'll show it to you.
My producer is sending you a high.
I'll share it.
I'm sure he has sent it high. So drop it to him. Then, for the purpose of clarity, we show this on screen. Somebody will not say, Kwaku, Mesa Thompson, we are conniving and blah, blah, blah.
You know?
These are verifiable things.
So,
the fact.
The minister, the VRA wrote to them and said, Minister, don't worry, we can do the relocation. NAPO wrote a letter back to them insulting them that they don't know anything. He should go and sit somewhere. He had to take civil society again. We came in, giddy. We wrote several letters to him.
But Thompson, let me bring you here. Assuming that if VRA would have done this,
let me finish.
Okay.
If I finish the story, you understand. Then we stepped in, wrote serious letters to the president and to the minister. And then eventually we were able to stop that transaction. Eventually, it was VRA that moved the plant from Takoradi to Kumasi that they went to celebrate, remember?
And it's still there now.
At the cost of $5 million.
Jesus.
At a cost of $5 million.
So somebody wanted to shortchange the government.
So Napo wanted to come and collect $36 million from you and I to go and chop. This is the person we are talking about.
This
is the person we are talking. You haven't heard the West. I'm saying that you haven't heard the West.
No.
As for Napo, we have his dossier.
Oh, so there's a reason why we heard you.
Yes.
On all over social media that no people
that this guy
political social media whatever will be a lot is coming.
At a cost of $36 million or by $36 million, I could do what? VRA in the plant in Fitakwade Kumasi. Sorry, if Fitakwade.
So in all of this, then I'll ask where then cabinet comes in and all of that.
That's a whole identity free. A whole identity free. So that is not all. See, there's a company called Gensa.
Gensa, yes, I've heard of them.
Ghana Gas want to build a power plant.
What?
Ghana Gas says it will cost us $170 million to build a pipeline to transport the gas across. $170 million.
$170 million
to build a pipeline. Ghana Gas and own it. Napo said no. Then Napo went to bring Gensa and awarded a contract.
Oh, so Gensa came courtesy Napo?
Yes. Okay. At the cost of $2 billion for 16 years to build the same pipeline
that Ghana
Gas can build for $170 million. Gensa is going to build the same pipeline for $2 billion for 16 years, operated for 16 years. And guess what? After the 16 years, Gensa will still sell the pipeline back to us. That's the contract Napo went to sign.
Can you go over again, bro?
My brother. You see,
scary.
This country,
No, but this is scary, Means aren't you scared yourself?
My brother.
The discoveries.
Why do you think that some of us, when we are shouting, sometimes when you shout, people just hate these people. We don't hate Napo. Napo is my neighbor.
What? Wow.
We live in the same area. I don't hate him. But the things the guy has done at the Ministry of Energy, I shudder. I shudder to even imagine this guy becoming the vice president of this country. That it will take Ghana Gas $170 million to build a pipeline. You said no. I'm going to award a contract to a third party to build the same pipeline at a cost of $2 billion for 16 years, and after the 16 years, they will now sell the plant, the pipeline back to us. Are you not mad?
Are you not mad? Let's see the letter Mason read a while ago. Let's see it on the screen. So great, folks. Letter on that screen is no.
So you see.
Obi Nkoka said, Kwaku Annan and Minister Thompson is making whatever. Until letter na da no.
So addressed to the Honorable Minister.
Exactly.
So it was written by the VRA Staff Association to the Minister. So dear said, read the headline.
Yeah.
A Mary relocation project request for support to establish security concerns of VRA Senior Staff Association on the Ministry of Energy's request for VRA to support, the establishment of the payment securities and handing over of the operations. So they were going to use the VRA. They were going to borrow the $36 million on the book of VRA.
Really?
To relocate the plant. And VRA said, no, stop. So please, the letter is long. Just scroll to the conclusion.
Yes.
That's where all the summary is.
Pull it up, guys. Now, I can't.
Go down to the conclusion.
Go down to the conclusion. No. Yeah, so that where Mensa read a while ago. No. Ghana from can you go? Okay, they will sort it out for us.
Okay. So I'm going to share the technical proposal that Metka also sent to the minister for $25 million, which eventually became $36 million. Let me share that with him as well.
Yes. Folks, and 70BI are pretty disturbing. Well, my guest tonight, Mensa Thompson, Executive Director, Emma, the Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability. And of course, the name goes Public Accountability. And I think what he's doing tonight here is one, I call it very enviable public accountability, putting the men so-called integrity on the scope.
So I've shared the medical. So he was going to borrow $36 million just to fund, and we're just going to chop that money.
Shortchange the government of Ghana.
Yes. Eventually, VRA didn't even spend $5 million on the relocation. VRA did the relocation.
Okay. Guys, bring it up,
So the conclusion. So go down.
Okay.
So he says that, yes, based on the reasons, so they've stated all their reasons above.
Exactly.
We wish to humbly appeal to the Honorable Minister for Energy, one, to take a second look at the agreed EPC contract cost of $36 million now. Vis-a-vis after the offer of $25 million. So you see the $25 million.
Yeah.
So the people brought an offer of $25 million. Then Napoli now went to renegotiate it up to $36 million.
It is a $25 million
Obi the idea bro say bet me ya adwuma we am $25 million there be $25 this yeah $36 million.
But where was he going to get this money? How?
Then you see so I say the third point to say reconsider and make the authority, which is VRA, in order to reduce the financial burden on government of Ghana. So to reduce the financial burden on government of Ghana, the minister should reconsider and allow VRA to relocate the plant. In this crisis, economic crisis, where we can't pay salaries, NAPCO trainees don't have, the allowances, national service personnel are not being paid, our pensions, our savings from the bank are being taken. The government can't even implement the important project for us. Obey the contract about $25 million. Also $136
but then,
million.
Mensa, can you even figure that conflict of interest?
Oh no, there are so many issues. You see, I say when it comes to Napo, my brother, you haven't heard the West. You haven't heard the West of Napo. See, Gensa. See, for me, the Gensa deal is the most ridiculous. It's the most annoying, is the most wicked contract anybody will ever sign. Sir, Ghana Gas say, make me see pipeline at the cost of $170 million. What's it there be Ghana Gas AC pipeline? Name Jensa. MSC the same pipeline for $2 billion. No more 5 years, they should operate it for 16 years. After 16 years, no more some plant in the
government of Ghana.
Meanwhile, you say $2 billion. You bet $2 billion kakra magensa every year for 16 years. Obu you no masa ton plant na my. I mean, more than
Christ.
More than
$2 billion against 170. The difference is quite huge, Zeno.
You see, just because corners be a share Jensechi. So not damn. And yet, no qua. Napo just a no man apply no energy ministry. Wouldn't him set time and a damn doom son. Napo, through his crony company, was supplying power to Burkina Faso. When there has been a directive, say,
I don't want to believe this.
Ghana should stop exporting power to neighboring countries because we're underproducing. We're under you know, generation
and we have to stop sending power to neighboring.
Napo was selling power to Burkina Faso.
I mean, how?
Napo,
the Minister of Energy,
he was selling power,
transmitting power to Burkina neighboring.
It was President Kufuor who stopped him. Later, President Kufuor found out and they stopped him. He was selling power to Burkina Faso when Ghanaians were sleeping in Dumso and making money. And we, the people of Ghana, were suffering. So, and CSOs, if you have destroyed this country, kakrana kano yeshremo, kakrana kano munyai. The little that is left, please allow the country to now try and recover. Because the mess people have plunged this country to the plague, the destruction, the thievery that has happened.
The second document in our radio, Mama Yenche. Okay, so Mensa.
Yes, we met for let our motor or technical and financial proposal. No.
Okay.
Cut down.
Okay, I see.
Cut down. Go to the table where we have the cost. The table where we have the cost.
I see. So this Metcalf.
This is the letter. Technical and financial proposal. Go down.
Okay. They are working on it so that they will scroll it for us to.
So
I see.
My brother, all I'm saying is you haven't even heard the worst, though. Sir, Chinese company and was when we signing, your friend is saying a nuclear power agreement and say or sign a contract with China.
So say or supervise it for the power not to.
Guys. Only company assign contract a week.
Adechi
and I'm China. Okay.
Quite strange though, is it not?
So see.
So this is all about within a short time of call energy.
And I'm saying this is not even the worst. See, the things I have on the some of them we are just holding on to the right time. It's terrible. It's terrible. And Adia or Ministerial why not times 100?
Yeah, because a lot has gone too bad at the Ministry of Energy. No, too bad.
It is any way. Will be the vice president. Would you pass again obey? Yes,
okay.
Scroll down.
Okay, Monko da table now. Okay, commercial what proposal.
No. Go up, Go up.
Monko
let me check the document here and show you exactly
what
page. The third. Go to. Let me show you the page.
Very interesting developments and very interesting things coming up. Quite strange though. I'm shocked. Sir, Napo Ministry.
Yes. Go to the fourth.
Is it this one?
Yes.
What you have on the screen?
Yes, offered price.
Okay.
For EPC.
EPC.
$25.48 million. So this is what the medical people submitted to the ministry. Negotiations they buy. Now I do $36 million, as you saw in the VRA letter. $36 million. Company the $25 million. The technical and financial proposal that does screen so on.
What is going on?
Me, what now I can say, the side nipa we just because Oya Santini, now you this on a bit me a consolidate base into no what did not be running meter. That is a one man or mine.
That's the one your mind. Mensa, I have 2 questions for you, then we drop. What do you make of the comments in Ankasana or Kokan on the very day of the inauguration? What do you make?
It was reckless, needless, petful, but it was Napo.
Okay,
was Napo. It was him.
He was at his best, kind of.
Yes. You see, Napo's hit. Napo, he is the most publicly tribalistic public officer.
That's
in the Fourth Republic.
My assessment, you know.
Yeah. When he said Napo, obey Minister for Education, or could do ministry ho in less than 1 year. Voltaire is the Minister of Education or Pamo Munina.
Hey, this is serious allegation, isn't it?
Go to the Ministry of Education in Mukubisa. Or Pamo, I'm going to vote Ministry of Education, you know. Or senior directors, we are more. I'm going to maybe 25. Or Pamo,
as the senior leadership.
Yes. Or Pamo be Ministry of Education. Now, Pofilo na kangu na niba kope.
It brings to what we saw him say there. Say finance minister no
recalculation na or the protest no. What they no kwa de fe no to nchen. We say Napo e no supervise VR.
Yes.
Emo mu hye nso kun e hye nso e save wetlands e pam omu nyina.
The Bagre Dam.
Ooh. For the first time in the history of the Fourth Republic, Napo is the only minister for energy under whose water Yaya spillager as say for properties a displacing vote, and 80% of the people were Voltarians. But the painful part, they say, when you say disaster in the as sector minister, he never stepped a foot there to go and even greet the people.
Ooh. Napoli hasn't gone there yet.
He never stepped a foot there. He can't make any intervention. From Kofono, had to take members
Minister of Energy, VR, Nina Shawansa.
When she got that, wow, Napoleon.
Hey, these are very strange matters coming up. Oh,
when she got that, she moved. Minia, is this the first time Yeye spillage?
No. It's been there years. Rollins era. So this one comes quite surprising.
I'm going to spillage now. So munya munchain. Okay, and I'm China dam no buy ya. If could do point after no say Oman be so na dam ni bebu.
No, so at the brain.
Yes. Very fortunate letters be because a spillage, you know,
periodically.
No, under his watch as minister. No mushi ne anguna foi pam omunyina omufie
thousands. Yeah. 1,000. Matikras almost saying ababe second one.
Obi when see na on form ho kra. Obi when see wow. As minister.
It's true because I haven't heard any statement from
he never stepped a foot
ministry. No, not any.
Now, as substantive minister for energy, via Richard say, a baby, a minister never resign.
Yeah, meaning say president. I stand to be corrected. President said president Kohona. Meaning say no can
Napo was not there.
No, president visited the place, but mehu Napo
he never entered. Napo never stepped a foot there. And Roma, one for the
yeah.
When she got that.
Oh, that's quite instructive, though.
When she got that. On Pema for some back.
Hey, folks. Anyway,
so a person, such a person, who be the vice president. He cannot unite the country. He's going to further divide this country on ethnic lines. Because on one case, on the ethnicity in the year, no. What you say? Say, oh, why are Santini offer him fee? Now flying fino bon. Who flying fino your cromfoa. Was a chinchina, your family vice president.
Mensa, quickly, man, for questioning to a man. You have a bass no way, and refi, ye DCL. Osha Global Info Analytics for Omopol ne place John Mahama, 52 thereof, and then the latest one, Yakas of Enrana, Air London-based poll, so Fetch Solution for also place John, 54. These are very significant ever.
See,
yeah,
all these polls are being modest.
Okay,
they are being modest. One, two, they are taking into consideration the rigging.
Oh, okay.
Of the say no incumbent, no political party or no government or no party can rig more than 5% of the total vote cast in elections. The machinery required to rig more than 5% of the total vote cast is huge. What I say, it is a fetch. Any global info for a catch will say your friend is saying or say NPP for Benya saying
fencing Baumia was somehow around 32 or so. Yeah.
5% free man. Just take 5% out.
It's quite serious though.
Because we are the only we are. But you can't steal more than 5% of the vote.
Yeah.
And that is what 2020 they were able to steal, because 2020 it was close. So we are 5% now. And we push you to the next stage.
That's right.
So say baby, we are 5%, quite 37.
37. Okay, my can come and say, hello, please, Jose. Hello, please. Jansa Energy has done horrible things to Mother Ghana. See, please get in touch with me. I say, Anas Aremia knew everything, but he was bought out. This is an allegation, though. Well, I don't know. I'll say, hi, good evening. What kind of a country is this? Please, may God protect your guests, because this expose is too much. These MPP people are human beings, and they are going to ask people in thanks. All right. God will protect him, of course. Good evening, Kwaku. God bless you for good work you're doing for your motherland. Also, thank Mr. Mensa Thompson for me personally. Now, Kwaku, my brother, the simple question I would like to ask is that, was the president at these negotiations of NAPO, and what did the president say? Auntie Stella Lashibi, in other words, say, I'm sad by this revelation tonight. Okay, a lot more now pipelining. Well, I'll say, Kwaku, I'll say, good evening, Kwaku. This is your something from Kaswa. Hey, what a shock, Napo. I'll say that Napo, we thank Allah for bringing Mr. Thompson today. This man cannot be your vice president. I beg, invite this man again. Allah would push him. Thank you, big brother, Mr. Thompson, and Obo Wabasum. I'll say, Kwaku, I bring you more corruption, Napo. I'll say, bring, I don't know how you want to put your statement. I said Napo gave a friend of my contract, and he took 25% from the contract. Napo, if the government change, we will go to jail. Trust me. Anyway, these are statements are not Baba. Please ask. Please, Kwaku Annan, may I know if Napo is thinkable being? Say, AB, and our day we free by him. Well, say, Kwaku Annan, you are spoiling the show. Let the man flow. The emptiness of what Akufo-Addo is imposing on Ghanaians, let the man flow. No, say, let the man also communicate in Cree. English is enough. Okay, yeah, fine, so, and through the way. Lots of message. Kanina. Kwaku Annan, Baumia is just being used by time for the as perfect candidate in 2032, and that he Napo Sami Aoku and something House Minister who are in the northern in MPP. They don't respect us. They just use Dr. Baumia. He knows it. Yahaya, go to Yahaya. Your brother. difficult to read. Kwaku, good evening. I hope you are doing well. Please, this Bible verse is for you. Proverbs 11:14 says, where there is no counsel, the people fail, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety in the nation. May God bless you for opening our eyes on a Japadia document and the so-called pastors and extend to how Crook Akufo-Addo administration too. Even I can say on authority that Mahama is far better than Nana-Addo administration in all sectors of Ghanaian economy. Zanan, don't be afraid. God is with you to grant you more knowledge like he gave it to King Solomon. Dawson. Folks, messages on Dawson. Was also saying, good evening, Mr. Kwaku Annan. I am Elvis from DC. Napu should be cast into lake of fire because his father, Satan, misses him. This is a very strong statement, though. I'll say, Kwaku, I don't even know who we are conducting this election. Bet tax, e-levy, COVID levy, petroleum levy, depreciation of the cedi, increases in petroleum prices on a Sunodia or the banner. Means and people are looking for a baby. Well, say, please, can your man speak Cree for our mothers to understand? This is Kobe from Kobe Krum or something like that. And Odebaye. Kwaku, if you know something like this as a coup, don't hesitate to make it known to the public in advance. Expose them every now and then so they will be ashamed to carry it out. If you keep quiet over it, they would have a gut to let it happen. Okay, Tony the free poco as another bad. Mensa, yeah, the message near fancy and adults to do loads of them. Yeah. What will be your final words?
Well, all I'm saying is that these elections, it's a struggle for the soul of this country. For the soul of this country.
Wow.
And I will entreat Ghana phobia or muti. Sir,
that's right.
Or Maya Koshakron Fonsa. Young fan is any additional Fonsa. And you know, Yanni the Showmosa. A quantity of fast edition,
the power to the people.
And Mobia and Butumobia and I just say, Umbit me we are, but Opian to me we are, but 2024 elections never to know. Nobody can steal the mandate of the people.
Yeah.
And to go out, we are, Jina polling station or Pim.
That's right.
Let's rescue this country from the hands of these treacherous people. Because Sabi. Oh, you be a mawasia. Yes, I'm one of chrono. What you say? Sabi, more a juma, mamma, ye be an yet. Mamma, you are paying new school. School at Diamond CB. Hospitals, more in CB. Yet, quiet man yet. What you say? Nina Yankasa, must say economy no, and may say, it did dry in a ye, Otoan, and talk. Uye business won't find no man that won't turn you not dollar net do sick on fast win edu working capital. Bibia say, Nina ya di nhwemo. Yen kasa ye. Na mo nya bibia maya. Afi o manager pade. O man no sika, no man na gudie e na krono akase e na moboye. So, enti no say ye may ni bre na ye gi o man iso. Ye gi o man ni wie a. Na afi nkofo bi ti se napo. You know, ni any or more can, you know, Maka. You know, for better no chrome, papa. If you next year, you know, for better no chrome.
Wow.
And to Ghana
be busy, kind of.
Obianca come to you, Miss Obia would do my sika. Your friend is saying, Simpoa, Obefiaba.
That's right.
Obia wa fa o man japade. O de wa when ya wo say what o man asase aban asase wafa ana wakoton ya ton ama when ya o ti so hunu say aka busumi numpe o tena so busumi numpe wa fa o man japade bia hu say wafa no fo busumi numpe after busumi nu wachi no Ghana fo ye ne nkofo bi obi kan okrom papa ye bebusa nkofo bi say ye do man hye monsa se bu mebu o man na mo fa hoto mra ye ana se de hyem sase mo mewia ye nkofo bi wo nsem eyi ano papa wo krom ha
good
na eduru ho a mesre Ghana fo mo bia meyese oh ena
that's the Ghanaian oh
me kasa kire mo Ghana fo no
so no
eduru ho a
ahemfo bebem
eba be meyese oh na ena ahemfo ye na ena oh ye friend say ena oh munya botre oh na mu nipa bobo oh na de be sa pasem surasem no debi because say yan kire nkofo bi nyansa okrom ha ama na anya ade eda ho a ochina bi ebe nye hun kura no we be mu ketwa
yeah
and de bia aya me blame Professor Mills because Professor Mills baaye and nkofo bi tse osafo mafo ochi omutu mu a nkofo bi tse Akufo Addo ochi omutu mu a nkomo nya kwa meye president samre emfa ye kwa ho chaye famu nti omanpanyi Ghana fo motora mo mpa ya na mabobi e de mo omanpanyi Mahama senya mema na akukuduro because ono nko ani nipa obetimi aboa yen ama bia ene aban tu minti omodwen se sebe omoye nipa sin obi o ka so mo a che minister na otesa onfo bia ho miwa yan yesika na we wiade aya ho hyepe enso mu ye e wo se sankofo ye no mu gina daka mu ti sa tam no o power na ya je free sem o V8 na ya je ye no mi no street ne so ye mienu e wo se ye no mo pa o krom ha sei no mu hunu se ye do man ejapade hye wonsa ye do man tumi hye wonsa ye do hye wonsa se be som na som pa na fa ho to bre Ghana fo na fa buo ne ani die ma Ghana fo enu nti na di tumi hye wonsa but ye hunu bi ya so nsuo ya so ansa ye hunu die mu oduru nti ye be suesi oboko na omo be na ye say yes no ye no mu street ni so
SMP ye no mu street ni so. Of course we've been speaking to Mensa Thompson, executive director MSA Jumekwe ASEPA yes, founder and executive director of Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability ASEPA and in common folks. Yes, sorry, my main car message from London. I say hello guys, NPP needs to be dissolved. Hey, my me also dia no she Regina Alote and the free London by dissolve. I say Kwaku, I don't even know. I say this election is against armed robbers. We are tired of this excessive corruption. Honestly, they are buying. Hello, Kwaku. I say the proposal to allow MPs to use siren motorcade is a slap in the face to the struggling citizens of this country. It is a symbol of entitlement and elected has plagued our political system for far too long. Our leaders should be working to save the people, not themselves. Let's demand better and put the needs of the many above the wants of the few. Leadership, all right, not luxury. We love you and pray for you all the time. Keep up the great work. Echo Thomas watching from Tema Committee for a great message. Modiabana. Folks, Yedimobesi as a in fact, these greedy bastards, looters, and decoys of group of demons of the NPP who call themselves politicians have no guts to resign, or like that Kenyan minister did. But inshallah, just like you have mentioned, the day of reckoning is coming. Nemesis and posterity would come after each one of them. Prince from Tamale. And all the by folks, my member NC has say Nathaniel, what they are not I to me room or say Kwaku, youth of Ghana are simply content with their hardship. Go out there and see them still defending these wicked politicians. The military also failed Mother Ghana in the name of peace. Cowards, wake up and let's put an end to this nonsense politics. I'm not sure you are trying to invite the military for any military actions and all of that. We don't need that. Folks, Yadebesi say we've been speaking to Mesa Thompson, Executive Director, founder of Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability. Yes, we'll work our way out still to have Mesa Thompson. It's quite busy schedules, is very, but you better try say Yebenya Mesa Thompson back in the studio another time and chekrana yabe because documents they go on the chapo. Afi sooner campaign a man for baby see from no ma baby campaign more. So we'll look at all of this, go alongside with the because on what can I say he who preaches equity must come with clean hands. Then the ABB says, the way some amount we huge sums of money with dollars way is going to one person called Matthew Opoku Prempeh. For what? Because obey the running mates. Folks will peruse this document one after the other to a logical conclusion. It's been the Frontline, of course. Great guys, backups, up there, editor or online editor Keynes, and of course, executive producer Yao Yamba gave us the backing, and then Ruby X, Momo Modiana Montoa Banaman, and the short code star 447 star 714 hash. Number picking the number no. GT 186 number to Abano Eddie Amano, and then Bismarck up there also doing a great stuff, and then the indefatigable, incredible, credible woman Emma Pushma show Nukoye, editors or more at large, Kofi Ansan, director of research, and no Kofi Ejiri, woman Abuami edition the Bremen. Shannon so say, Ubeko we hono YouTube no program no edaho, sign kwashe na hwene tie nsem na wosoma wadam fu bi. So, subscribe the channel. My CTVGH, subscribe. Nebi Biano, Intimi, and Yakama. We a weekend Frontline, and yeah, Diabro. Nyakupoyaduma, Monday, something exclusive coming, and whatever it is, folks, join the show, be part of the news making, and be the first to know. The Frontline, I say, you're what you listen to, and we are your reliable news source. I'm out.